Are you learning Cantonese and sick and tired of using this same old phrase over and over again?
我識聽唔識講喎。
Well, fear not, because today I've got some great tips on how to learn to speak Cantonese. Hey y'all, my name is Kevin. I've been learning Cantonese for some time now. On my channel, I actually have a lot of videos documenting my journey as well as some tips and tricks on how to learn Cantonese. If you are feeling stuck or just saying to yourself, I just can't speak Cantonese, well, please stick around and watch the end of this videos because I got some really great tips for you to actually make that first pass and learn how to speak Cantonese with confidence. Now, these are some tips and tricks that you can employ from the comfort of your own home. These are different practices and exercises that you can do, so I would highly recommend that you try whatever works for you and see where it takes you. The first thing that you really need to do is familiarize yourself with the Cantonese tones. Now, in Cantonese, there are 6 tones that every Cantonese learner needs to know. You can practice with a short phrase that I learned from another YouTuber. Her name is Cherry. I'll leave a link to the video above. But in short, it goes like this. Sam mun bun ngao lam min. I'll do it slower. Sam mun bun ngao lam min. And that pretty much just says 3.5 bowls of beef noodles. This is a great way to practice because it goes from tones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that order. And you can practice saying it to yourself just to get used to the rhythm and the sound of the tones. In her video, actually, she goes over 9 tones, but for all intensive purposes, for all learners out there, there are really only 6 tones. Tones 7, 8, and 9 are just tones 1, 3, and 6, but with the ending words. So the words that end in T, K, and P. They're the closing sounds. Another thing you can do is to practice your different tone pairs, tone combinations. So for example, practice words that go from tone 1 to tone 1, tone 1 to tone 2, tone 1 to tone 3, and so on. There's gonna be a lot of these combinations. I'm gonna have a video link hopefully up there above so that you can practice these different kind of combinations. And that's just so you can get used to going from one tone to another tone. I would recommend that you spend dedicated practice time to just focus on the pronunciation of the tones. I actually found on Reddit that someone was developing an app to help you practice your Cantonese tones, and this app is called Cantone. I downloaded it myself, gave it a try, and I actually think there's some really valuable exercises there that you can do. So go check it out, see if that's worthwhile or that's something that you want to add to your Cantonese study routine. But I think it's pretty good. There's some really good exercises out there. The next thing that you really need to do as a Cantonese learner who wants to improve their Cantonese speaking abilities is to learn a Cantonese romanization system. Now, there's a variety of different systems out there, but I personally recommend that you learn Yupeng. Yupeng is one of the more recent, one of the more modernly developed systems out there. I think it was created in 1993. Also, it really closely simulates the sounds and syllables that you hear in English, barring a couple of small differences out there, for example, the J, as well as a couple of sounds that just simply don't exist in English. Yupeng is used in a variety of different resources out there. Particularly, it is probably the leading system in a lot of online resources. That's not to say that you're not going to find a resource out there, especially older books and articles that are in a different system, but Yupeng is probably going to be the one that is going to be the most relevant in a lot of different Cantonese learning resources out there. I would recommend that you learn Yupeng or any other kind of Cantonese romanization system because it'll really help you with your pronunciation. It'll give you the ability to take notes, and it'll give you like a standard way of pronouncing every single character. I think without it, your learning progress will go super slow. So I highly recommend that you learn Yupeng to really speed up your learning process and really help you build a good connection with every single sound and character. Now, to get better at Cantonese speaking, you actually need to speak in Cantonese.
What?
So how can we do that? Well, these next 2 tips are geared around speaking practice. The first tip is to find people to practice speaking Cantonese with. If you have family or friends, I would highly recommend that you reach out to them and ask them if they're willing to help you practice or have a conversation with you in Cantonese. That's usually a great starting point, especially if you're a heritage speaker. If you do not have people available to you to practice with, then you can go through some other routes. One thing you can do is you can find a class and you can pay a tutor to practice speaking with you. I would recommend italki to do that, as you can find community tutors on italki for quite reasonable prices. But if money is out of the question, you can also practice for free by finding language exchange partners on apps like Tandem or HelloTalk. What if you cannot find a partner to speak with for all means and purposes, or perhaps you want to study right now and there's no one to practice with you right now? This next tip to practice and improving your speaking is that you can record yourself with your phone and speak to yourself. And what you can do there is you can look back at your recording and you can really focus in on your errors that you make in your speaking practice. Now, this is an exercise that I utilize to this day to improve my Cantonese. And if you want a particularly detailed exercise on how to do this, I actually made a video about this and you can click on this right here to check it out. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like to help this channel grow, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.